Welcome back to hard mode, SnowRunner, everybody. So I just topped this off, but we're right where we left off. Like I said, I think I'm going to try to get these watchtowers finally. So that's first order of business. I've been playing my normal save file this morning, just for some relaxing SnowRunner play. And it's a very stark difference. Oh, come on. That's gonna break. Oh, it didn't. Thank God. But yeah, it's a very stark difference because I use mods on that one, so like, I'm just cruising around everywhere in that one, not getting stuck at all, and this truck just gets stuck everywhere. Don't have all-wheel drive on, that will help if I turn that on. I did have a comment yesterday in the last episode about my struggles with fuel, and yeah, like I know I'll figure it out eventually. I just feel like these I'm just not used to it. Basically, in my other playthrough, I've gotten so used to my like modded trucks that are overpowered and have ridiculous amounts of fuel and can carry extra fuel, and like I don't know, it's just hard to it's hard to like have to manage that, whereas in my normal save file I don't really have to manage it too much. Like I can do multiple jobs and not have to worry about my fuel at all. So it's just something I'll eventually get used to and everything, but it is definitely a hard change to be playing my normal save file and then jump right into this hard mode. But I wanted to play SnowRunner this morning, and my wife didn't have to go to work till 1 today, so I just figured I'd play some of my normal save file and whatever. I used to record that save file. This playthrough is doing much better than that ever did, and I assume it's just because it's hard mode, and that's fine. So I'll continue to just do hard mode, but I don't know, I do miss playing that other save file because it is I mean, obviously it's easier because I use mods in that one, but I don't know, it's just I still am going to completely near to 100% that save file, so that is still my goal. I don't know, we'll see if I ever play that on the channel again. But I think the hard mode playthrough is doing much better numbers wise than the other one was, so we're just gonna stick with this for as long as I like it. When Roadcraft comes out, maybe I'll play Roadcraft, but like I said on that topic before, I really didn't enjoy Expeditions, and I still have not completed Expeditions, so maybe that will come back on the channel at some point as well if I get bored of SnowRunner, but I don't know, we'll see. I would like to get the Platinum Trophy for all of these games, like even MudRunner. I can't play Spin Tires, but I can play MudRunner, so I would like to get all of the trophies for all of those. I don't know that I'll do them all on the channel, but we will see. Like I said, I don't really enjoy Expeditions, so that may just be something I do in my spare time. I don't know if I'll do MudRunner on the channel. I haven't really played that game. I haven't played that game at all, to be completely honest. And I know it has some pretty big differences compared to SnowRunner. Like the physics engine is apparently better, even though it's an older game. But then there are also a lot less mechanics to it. Like, it's mostly just logging. I do know that. So yeah, we'll see. I do want to play it, and I would like to get all the trophies for it. But currently, right now, I'm working on the Infamous series with that. I'm real weird with stuff like that. I like to get all the trophies for all the games in a series or whatever. Like, I've done it with Assassin's Creed. Although I have still not completed Mirage. And then Shadows comes out real soon, I believe. If it's not out already. But there's a lot of issues with that game already. Like, the trophies on that game are... It's required that you're online to unlock them, which is kind of crazy to me that a game would do that. But I don't know. That's whatever. So I will do Mirage eventually, and I'm sure I'll play Assassin's Creed Shadows eventually, but I'm not that worried about it. I really burnt myself out with Assassin's Creed because I played the hell out of those games, like back to back to back, and got all the platinum trophies on it. I was talking about it in my... I think I talked about it the most in the Canada region, if you want to go back and watch that region, the Wildfire Canada one. This one. Ontario. I talked about it a lot in that one because I was doing it during that time. And even British Columbia, I think I was doing it. Maybe even Glades, I don't know. But either way, I would talk about which one I was on and if I got the platinum or not and all that. I had even... did I pick this up? I'm talking, I'm not... Yeah, I did. And then that, which I cannot use, I don't think, because you have to be attached to it. Yeah. You have to have a truck that's attached to it and be in that truck to use it to repair, which is really annoying, but that's just how the game works. Alright, so let's just go up here. But yeah, I got really burnt out with Assassin's Creed, so I just kind of... And I wasn't as impressed with Mirage as I thought I was going to be. I really wish they would go back to the old way that Assassin's Creed was with the whole, you know, the treasure chests were just on the map. I hate having to search for shit with eagle vision. It's just annoying, man. I don't know. I do love Assassin's Creed. I always will. Those games are always going to hold like a special place for me just because I remember back when I was real young when Assassin's Creed first came out, and I couldn't even play it because it was only on Xbox back then. And then they put it on PlayStation, although it didn't have any trophies on PlayStation, which was dumb because the game had achievements on Xbox. So I don't know why they did it that way, but that is how they did it. Am I just supposed to... There's no way I can drive up that. I mean, it shouldn't be muddy, but I don't think I can make it up this. I guess we can try. I'm not even going the right way. It's over here. Just gotta be careful I don't flip my truck, because I am very well known to do that if you have not been following along, especially when I go off-road like this. But yeah, in my normal save file I have a modded F750. The link for that is in the description. I say this all the time, but it's always in my description for SnowRunner videos, even though I don't use mods in this playthrough. But the link for the mods that I use in my normal playthrough are all in the description. But it's definitely overpowered, but I like that because it's just easy. It makes scouting around the map really, really quick. I can just, you know, fly around the map and find everything I need to find and whatnot. So I like it, and I know there's people that think using mods is like blasphemy and you shouldn't use mods, but it's like mods are part of the game, and you can choose whether you want your mod to be overpowered or not. And you know, the two main mods that I use, the F750 and the 605R, are definitely overpowered. I will not deny that, but you can set those trucks up to just use the stock engines and stuff, and just get the benefit of the mod of where it gives you a lot more functionality of the truck. Because I can have the banana crane on it with. Oh, you know what? I could have connected to that service trailer with this. Oh no, I couldn't. I'm not in the 750. See, this is where I'm getting myself all mixed up. Anyway, you can have the banana crane on it. You can just go down this road and get this upgrade. Let's just pop a marker there so I remember. I can have the banana crane on it, which isn't a crane that usually can be put on the 605R. And then I can have a flat bed or like a sideboard bed, whatever, at the same time, which isn't a normal thing you can do at all with the 605R. Because you can put a crane on it, but you can't do both. You can't have a crane and a bed, I'm pretty sure. And then, you know, it adds some different tires, which I know the Zeke's tires are technically the best tires, vanilla-wise, but with this mod, it adds other tires, and those tires, I like the look of them better, and they just are better, so I use different tires on it than the Zeke's ones. But I don't know, that truck just never gets stuck. I mean, it can get stuck, it's not impossible, but it's pretty rare that it gets stuck. And then, of course, it also adds things like autonomous winches, which, again, you don't have to use. But it is hard to not use it when you have the ability to. So, like I said, that's just my normal playthrough. And it's just, you know, it's just a fun playthrough and I enjoy it. So, that's what I had been doing. And then the reason why I like the F750 as well is because it has a add-on for the radar scanner, which works the same way as a trailer you pull behind you. It requires fuel and all that stuff, but it's just on top of the truck bed, so like you don't have to drag a trailer behind you. Now that truck just skates across the ground though. It's crazy how fast it is. I mean, the Zeke 605R with like the modded engine and everything is extremely fast too. It almost is like unnaturally fast. Like when I was playing it this morning, I was like, man, this feels so fast. It's wild. I mean, even the vanilla version of that truck is, you know, really pretty powerful. But you don't get that truck until a mirror anyway, so it's reasonable that it's so overpowered, because a mirror is really hard, and it's really hard to actually get that truck from a mirror anyway. It's in like an area where there's a ton of blue snow and ice. It's, you know, it's pretty hard. Alright. Let's go get this other watchtower. We're making some good progress here. I like it. So yeah, I'm off today, but like I said, it's already 1 o'clock. If my wife worked earlier today, I wouldn't be able to batch record a bunch, but I'm only really going to be able to record this one episode, unfortunately, because I have some things I have to do before I have to go pick up my kids. So if I can squeeze another episode in somehow, if I get enough done, I will, but I doubt it. Either way, it's not going to make much of a difference, because this episode will go up as of recording this tomorrow, which would be Saturday the 22nd, which is my oldest son's birthday. He turns 8. But I work. We have a show that night, so I'll be working from like 1 till 11:30 that day, which kind of sucks for my son, but he understands. I'll at least have the morning with him. But then I'm off Sunday, which is an odd day. Because right now my videos go up on even days, and that's just how it works out. If that ever changes, it will, you know. If I ever miss a couple days and I get one done and it's on like an odd numbered day, then I will just upload it. I'm not gonna not do that. But at the current state, it's always been on even days. So and then Monday's the 24th, and I'm off. Well, that's not true. I work later that evening. Yeah, I work at 4 that day, and my wife works at 7, so I will be able to get episodes recorded that day, and I should be able to get one up that day as well. So we're not going to miss any days, at least. I would like to get an extra episode recorded today, just because that would just get me a little bit ahead. But like I said, it's not a super pressing matter. All right, I would like to try to get that one, but I think I need to go the other way because going through that swamp is going to be terrible. So let's just go back across here, and we'll go up this way and go down the dam. I hope everyone's enjoying this series, though. I mean, I'm enjoying playing it, as frustrating as it is for me sometimes. I am enjoying playing it. And it seems like people are enjoying it because I'm getting better results with this series than I have with my other SnowRunner series that I was doing. So I guess people like hard mode, which makes sense. People like to see people do something that's challenging rather than just easy. And I understand that. That feels like mud. I'll tell you what, though, I'm real excited for some games coming out. Like Tony Hawk, I'm super excited about. I can't wait for that to come out. That's in June, I think. June or July, I don't remember. We don't have a release date for Power Wash Simulator 2, but like that, I cannot wait for, man. I'm so excited for that. I freaking love Power Wash Simulator. That is a game that I will most likely not record, and the reason for that is because I feel like that's more of a live stream game. And second of all, I don't like using the, like, in that game you can like push, I think it's left, or no, it's one of the D-pad buttons, up, down, left, or right, I don't remember which one. But it makes it so you move around the washer instead of your whole screen moving, like your whole view moving around, and I don't like using that. I prefer just like moving like my view on the screen instead of the washer like having its weird like isometric, I don't know what you would even call it, but it's weird. Like I don't know, I don't like it, and I know that that game can make people feel motion sick if people play it that way, like the way that I play it, like moving the whole screen. So that's one reason why I don't want to do it, just because I feel like I'd get comments that like people would be like, I don't like unlock the washer and use the washer movement instead of moving the whole screen. Like I can't watch your videos, it makes me feel sick. Like I get that, and I don't really want to put people through that because I don't really like playing the game that way, so I'm going to play it the way I want to. And also, that game, I feel like that game would be, I don't know, it would be hard for me to just like play that game and just talk about random things or like talk about the game while I'm playing it like I do with this game, because that game is just so like monotonous and like you're just cleaning off dirt. Like, there's not really a whole lot to talk about gameplay-wise. So, like, it would just be more or less me talking about things, like, you know, going on in my day-to-day, which I try not to get too personal with things, but sometimes I do. But, like, it's not exactly a game that I feel like works very well for YouTube videos. And also, like, some of those levels take, like, hours to complete. So, like, I'd have to do at least hour-long videos to really feel like I'm getting things done, or else I'd have, like, 6 to 7 videos on just one job. It just doesn't seem like it fits. And not to say that I couldn't live stream, because I could, but since I record on my PlayStation, I wouldn't be able to have like a face cam or anything. And I'm not against showing my face, but like I have to have, because of the way I record on my PlayStation, I have to have the PlayStation camera. Like that's the only way I can do a face cam recording. And that's just another thing I have to buy, and I don't really want to do that. But like also, it's just live streams are harder for me to even get like set up or like scheduled, because just my work schedule's crazy, my wife's work schedule's crazy. We don't work normal jobs. We both have jobs where we work, you know, different hours every week. I mean, we work 40 hours a week, both of us, but we don't have set schedules. I work in, you know, like technical entertainment. If you don't know, I'm like an audio technician at a live venue, so I do a lot of stuff regarding that. And then my wife works retail for a pretty big company. So and even though she's like, she runs that store, like she has to follow the guidelines that the company has set. She can't just like make a special schedule for herself, and because that's unfair. So, you know, it comes down to those kind of things. Like it's hard for me to schedule that and set that up and do it, and you know, it's just not really a feasible thing. And I don't really think I would get that many viewers anyway. So I just don't think it's a possibility. But I do love Power Wash Simulator, and I cannot wait for that to come out. So that will be something that I am playing in the background when it comes out. I am considering recording Tony Hawk though, just because I do love that game. I used to love skateboarding. I skateboarded as a teenager and everything. It was okay. It was decent. I could do some pretty good tricks. Most flip tricks. I was really good at like flat rail grinds. Like if you just had a little flat rail set up on the ground, I could do a lot of grinds on it. And then, you know, I've ollied down some pretty big stair sets. 9 is the biggest I've ever ollied. I've never done any flip tricks down stair sets, other than like, you know, maybe a 4 or 5 stair. I could like kick flip them or something. But I was always a little afraid to do any like crazy flip tricks down big sets, because 1, I didn't really want to get hurt, and 2, you know, I didn't want to like popsicle myself or something. If you don't know what a popsicle is, that's when the board lands vertically between your legs and like hits you in the nuts. It's not a comfortable feeling. So yeah, I was always just something I was worried about. I've done some handrails, nothing crazy though. Biggest handrail I ever did was like a 4 stair, I think. There was the 9 set that I ollied had a decent handrail to do, but I never had the guts to try it because it was a pretty steep rail and it was shallow. So like coming off of it was hard because you were coming down it really fast because it was steep, and then it was shallow. So, you know, turning out of like a board slide on it would be hard. I guess I could 50-50 it because it was a flat like rectangle type rail. So 50-50 would have locked in on it really easy. But again, if you bail out on a handrail, you're gonna land on the steps, and that hurts, especially if you like roll your ankle or something. So I forgot to get gas. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna run out of gas too. I needed to go up to the service trailer that I have and get gas. And there's even a Scout fuel trailer up there too. Really dropped the ball there. I don't think I'll even make it to this watchtower. Yeah, because it sucks. I don't have my... I mean, I have the Kodiak, but like... that doesn't even have any fuel in it. The Scout one does. Let's jump in this and take this over so I can hook it up to the Scout trailer. I don't really want to do this, but it's kind of my only option at this point because that truck's going to run out of fuel. That's alright. This episode is just really going to be, you know, getting these watchtowers and scouting out. I'm pretty sure this can tow. Yeah, it's got a hitch, so it should be able to. I do really like these little Scouts, but they're just, if you lift them or put the roof rack on, they just tip over so easy. I'd love to get one of the new ones that are coming out. They're electric, but they're still really cool looking. They're also owned by Volkswagen, which I'm a big Volkswagen fan, so. One day, I will have my GTI. One day. I drive a 2017 Passat right now, and it is completely paid for. So... my wife won't let me get a new car because, you know, just mean a new car payment, which isn't necessarily ideal. We don't need that. But eventually, I should be able to get one. Maybe in like 2 years. So I'm thinking 2027 I should be able to get one. Problem with that is I really, really, really want a manual. And Volkswagen stopped making GTIs and Golf R's in manual in 2024. That was the last year for them. So the newest I would be able to get is 2024, so I'm gonna have to find a used one, which, you know, isn't necessarily ideal with GTIs because lots of people like to tune them and modify them, and I don't want one that's been tuned or run the hell, so it's gonna be kind of hard to find one, but it shouldn't be impossible. It's just gonna be a little more difficult. But I will get one, and I will not settle for an automatic, because I really do not want an automatic. And I know the argument that, like, oh, the automatic's faster, technically, if you're shifting, and it's like, I don't care about that. I'm not going to be, like, racing the car. I just want a GTI, and I miss my manual. I had a manual base model Golf years ago, and that was, like, my favorite car. I've had quite a few manual vehicles, but my favorite car ever that I had was my Golf, and it was a 5-speed. I just loved that car so much, and we traded it in to get my Passat because the Golf was a 2002. It was just old. It had some issues that weren't really worth fixing, so we just traded it in and got my Passat, and we just paid my Passat off like a couple months ago, so we're just riding it out. We're gonna go without having, because we still have my wife's car payment. She has a Tiguan. She has a 2022 R-Line Tiguan, so it's all black. It's pretty sexy. But, you know, we still have her car payment for a couple more years, so 2027, her car should almost be paid off. So then me getting the car that I really want, which she's agreed to because she's gotten 3 new cars, 3 brand new cars we have bought her since we've been together and married. And that'll be 10 years this October. Nothing happened to her other cars. The first new car we bought was a Hyundai, like a Hyundai Elantra. We had that for a while, but then we had our first, or no, we did already have our first child when we bought that. But then we really wanted to get an SUV, so we traded the Elantra in for the first Tiguan she had. She had a 2019 Tiguan SE. And we had that for a while, and then it got rear-ended in like 2020, 2021-ish, around, I think it was 2021. And it was fixed and everything, and it was fine. There was no like issues with it. But then, you know how dealerships are. They always like reach out to you and like, oh, we have this car on the lot. Like, you should trade in your car. And they did that to her. And it was a 2022 Tiguan SE, and it was the R-Line version. And it was the black version, so it was all black. It has black interior, it's black exterior, it's black wheels. It's a nice looking car. And we basically traded in her old Tiguan, got the new Tiguan for a lower monthly payment. It lowered our insurance. Like, it was just a better deal all around. The only downside is it reset all of our car payments for, 5 years again. So yeah, so that was our third brand new car that we bought her. So, and I have not gotten a car that I want. Granted, it wasn't really logical to buy a GTI when we had children in like infant carriers and all that, because even though GTIs are, well, I live in America, the USA, and in North America we don't get base model Golfs anymore. So like, we only have the option of the GTI or the Golf R. We don't have like the regular Golf. You just can't buy it here. Because everyone here just buys GTIs or Golf Rs. Like, no one buys the base model Golf unless you're like a grandma or something, But like, that's just the truth. So they just don't sell them here anymore in North America. But like, they also don't sell them in 2-door anymore either. You can only get them in 4-door. That's been a thing for a while now. But my Golf was a 2-door. And getting an infant carrier in and out of the back seat was just terrible. So like, that was another reason why I never really got my GTI. I also really couldn't afford it back then because I didn't have the best job. I mean, I had a job, but it wasn't like the job I have now where I have a constant salary and all that business. But I don't know. The goal is 2027-ish. I should theoretically be able to get my GTI. I just have to find it. I don't really care much about the color either. The only color I don't want is white. Because the last 2 cars I've had have been white. My Golf was white, and my Passat is white. And my Passat we bought certified pre-owned, so it wasn't like I had a choice. Like, that was just the only one they had that was certified pre-owned, and it was in really good shape. It had low miles. So, I mean, that is the newest car I've ever bought for myself, because we bought it in 2019, and it was 2017. So, and we actually bought it, or no, it was the end of 2019 when we bought it. Because we literally signed the papers and drove it off the lot on New Year's Eve of 2019. So, and then of course, 2020 happened and I lost my job and all that bullshit. So there was that fun. You even have my headlights on. I don't know. I think I'll be able to find one, no problem, though. Most people don't. I mean, I had been looking even, like, whenever I had first gotten my job that I have now, I had been looking at GTIs because I had hoped that, you know, she'd let me buy one then, but no dice on that. But I was finding like 2021s and 2022s with low miles and real good shape, not modified, so, you know, it's possible. It's just going to take some work and some digging. And the fact that manuals are discontinued is just going to make it a little bit, probably, you know, the price isn't going to be as low as it could be just because they're kind of rare, quote unquote, at this point. But I really don't want an automatic, man. I just really don't. I want to shift gears. Like, I miss that. I miss driving like that. I love driving a manual. This is going to be very slow going up this hill with this. I hate that I have to do this too, because I liked having this sitting down there, but I forgot about it anyway, so it didn't really help me in that situation. But also, I just wasn't paying attention to my fuel. I wish there was like a... you could set like an alarm or something for when your fuel gets to a certain level. Because I just don't pay attention to it. I mean, I know it turns red once it gets like below 10%, I think. But I just, like, I don't pay attention to it. And then I notice it when it's like almost out of gas, and I'm like, shit, I'm not even close to any fuel. I should have done this Michigan trial while I was over there. I don't know why I didn't. It's alright. I may actually just leave the Scout up here and just leave this attached to the Chevy. Because I do think the Chevy does better than the Scout. I think it has more power for sure. Look how bouncy it is. I feel like I'm wheeling a little bit too. How are we doing on time? What is it, 40 minutes? This might be the episode once I refuel this and get up to this watchtower. We may pop over to the other map as well, but we'll see. Because I think this takes me... up here takes me to Drummond, does it? I think that up here takes me to Drummond Island, which... I could get the P16, I guess. I'd have to go find out what I need. I know there's some bridges I have to repair. And I'm pretty sure the P16 you just drive out. I don't think you have to rescue it. You just have to find it and then you can just drive it out. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Because it's usually either it just gives you the truck straight out, like the Scout, it just gives us this straight out. Or you need to repair it and tow it somewhere, and then it gives it to you. Or you just need to tow it somewhere, and that's it. And usually you don't get the truck when that happens. I didn't drive past it, did I? No. That would be something I would do. 100%. Alright, let's just drop it. I'll just pull it. I'll just leave this up here for now, because I don't really, whoops, I don't really use the Scout that often, so. But it's at least nice to have. all the way over here now, which kind of sucks, but... Alright. Refuel. I don't care about my little fuel containers on the roof rack. It's not important. I have it. There's no reason to transfer it from here to that if I'm just going to cart this along with me. I don't know. I think just keeping this combination together is the best bet for right now, just because it's portable fuel essentially, and I can just drive this anywhere that I need to if a truck runs out of fuel. I forgot how zigzaggy this path is up this mountain. There's a huge shortcut, but like it's risky as hell. It's down a really, really steep, rocky incline or decline, whatever you want to call it. If you're going down, it's a decline. And then there's a path across like the river over top of rocks that are, you know, not a totally solid foundation. So you got to keep all your wheels on the rocks, and if you fall in the water, you're pretty much toast. You have to like reset the mission, recover your truck. I mean, you could manually recover it, but that would be a whole ordeal. It would take forever. You'd almost have to have a big truck with a crane, and I can't afford that. So we're not taking any risks with that for sure. We're gonna take the easy, long, winding road down. And even that could be tough because there's a couple of the hairpins that are really tight. And there's that one that goes around the outside of that cliff, and there's like a drop off on the one side. So. Alright, so the watchtower is here. Let's just drop a marker so that I know where I'm going. Or at least know that I'm beside it. Look at the moon rays. It's nice. I think this is where I want to go. Is this mud? I probably should not take the trailer up here. No, we're doing fine. There's a little bit of mud right down there at the bottom, but we got no problems going up this. Even pulling this trailer. Alright, that should be all the watchtowers for this map. Alright, we got upgrades laying around. Yeah, this goes to Drummond Island. It's really hard to turn around with this trailer. Doesn't really make sharp turns very well. Alright, let's go down. Let's pop over to Drummond Island. Just because we can. We're all the way up here. Man, this is muddy here. Alright. Yeah, we only have a couple more minutes, but let's just pop over there because we're here. Because it would be nice to get the P16. And a lot of people suggest using the P16 for that big construction trailer you have to move around a bunch in this map. I mean, I use the Fleet Star for it on Black River, but you have to move that thing like 3 more times. There's a trailer store. There's a warehouse over here that I think has probably, what, metal beams maybe. Metal beams, concrete blocks, wooden planks. Yeah. Cool. Might as well just jump over here. There she is, P16. Alright, let's just do a little bit of scouting here, and then we'll end the episode. But I just want to kind of get the lay of the land here. I know where the P16 is. This map isn't too hard to navigate from what I remember. It's mostly roads. I mean, there are definitely some muddy bits, but it's mostly just roads. I'm pretty sure there is a bridge that's out up here that you have to fix. Not this one. Or I came in the other way. The one I'm thinking of, the P16's like all the way over here. This is the entrance from from Island Lake, I think. Yeah, let's see how far we can go, because I know there's going to be some bridges that are out that I have to repair to keep going further. So like, I don't know that I'll be able to hit any watchtowers or anything. Sorry if this episode was boring too. I know it didn't really do a whole lot. We just drove around and picked up tasks and watchtowers. this way is where I'm going to find the bridge that needs repaired. I think there's 2 bridges you have to fix. There's the other entrance from Island Lake. There's a bridge pretty close by that you have to repair that leads almost straight to the P16. But then this way, there's another bridge over here that kind of leads over to where the gas station is, if I remember. And that also needs to be repaired. This is muddy. I want the pole. If you don't know, first person view, quick winching works better directly in front of your vehicle than third person. So it's a neat little trick to know. There's a service trailer, which I know is for a task or a contract. One of the two. Man, this is muddy. Bridge is coming up. See, it says gas. Truck parking. Really? Yep. And it's not even a task, it's a contract. Or is it? On that side? I can't get to it from this side? Alright, well. Oh god, I'm still attached. That's really all we're going to be able to do, I guess. Because I can't get over that way. So I guess we got to go through Island Lake. Because I don't think there's any other way to get over there. Actually, it looks like you can cross there, maybe. I don't know. I might have to look at Map Runner, but either way, that's going to be the end of this episode. So I'm just going to end this here. We'll probably just leave this truck over here, or I'll drive it back over. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I'm not going to do anything else. We're going to end this right here. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll catch you in the next episode.